everyone, it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, it is so nice to meet you. In today's video, I am giving you guys a follow-up to a video that I made about a year ago. I am going to be talking about how I make my notebooks for my Etsy shop from start to finish. This has not been, I'm not gonna say it's been requested, but I've gotten so many questions on that video that I felt like I kind of just need to make a follow-up to let you guys know step by step how I make them. So with that being said, if you guys have not seen that video, I talk about the place where I source all of the products for my Etsy shop, and that includes stickers, notebooks, notepads, and all that fun stuff. So I thought that I would kind of break it down for you guys, how exactly I do it, because I have gotten questions, so many questions about the inside of the books, the outside the books, ordering itself, shipping, all of that information. So I just wanted to sit down and kind of give you guys, like I said, a run through of that so that it can be maybe a little bit easier for you to figure out what you want to do if you are trying to start an Etsy shop, you want to make notebooks, sell notebooks. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you guys what you want. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am sitting here at my desk. I just changed the angle just a little bit. So first I want to show you my notebook. This is just one of them that I sell on my shop. It has this matte cover. It has something on the back, and this is the front, obviously. And then the inside, it just has dotted pages, but you can also put anything you want to inside. So I thought I would kind of give you guys, like I said, a basic rundown. So let me go ahead and get started with this process. So let me go to, okay, so I do everything on my iPad. So I'm going to show it to you on my iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and record my screen, but I have my iPad sitting on the counter because it's just easier for me to do it this way. So is it recording? Yes. Okay. It's recording. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you're making your notebook is you are going to want to start with designing the cover. That's what I do, is designing the cover. So the website that I source my notebooks from is called Lulu. So you can go to lulu.com. Here is the website. It's pretty simple. You can publish books, notebooks, literally anything that you want. So this is what the first page looks like. You can kind of give yourself pricing guidelines. So for me, I pick price book. If you pick what size you want. So I want a US trade 6x9 and it's gonna have 100 pages. So let's just say it's gonna be black and white standard on the inside with white pages. It's gonna be paperback and the cover is gonna be matte. It kind of gives you an idea of what that page is going to, or what the cost based on your location is going to be per item. And it can say you want to get 5 of those and you live in the United States. It's gonna take forever to get to it. United States of America. And you can choose your shipping. So it's gonna cost you $3 per item, $3.75 per item, and then it's gonna cost you $7.94 to get it in 17 to 19 days. So your total is gonna be approximately $29.19. You do the math, that's about $6 a notebook after shipping. So that's kind of the best way for you to kind of figure out how much it's gonna cost. I love that they have the cost calculator on here so that you can figure out how much stuff is going to cost before you start designing to make sure that this is the source that you want to use. Also, a notification just popped up on my iPad that said I talk really fast. I'm so sorry if I talk too quickly. If I do, it's because I have tried to make myself slow down and I'm really, really bad at it. So if you do find my videos a little too fast to understand, you can always change the speed of the video in the settings. I don't know what side it's on because I'm not sure, but you can go onto your settings and change the speed of the video to make it a little bit slower and easier to follow. Just because I've tried talking slower and it always ends up bad. So just, I wanted to let you guys know that that's there. No malice for that at all, just giving you a heads up. So anyway, now if we go to products, you can see that you can do print book, photo book, notebook. I go to up here, it says products, I click on notebook and I click on learn more. It gives you all of this information, and this is where I start. So as you can see, this is the top. We're going to scroll down, see where somebody made theirs. So instead of start notebook, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and not all the way down to the bottom, but about halfway there, there's download cover templates. And this is where I start. So if I want one that is going to be US trade notebook cover, I'm going to click on download. On my iPad, obviously it's going to go to my downloads, and that's where it goes. So the next step in designing, we're going to go over to Procreate. You can use any kind of design program program that you want to. Procreate is just my preferred design program. I am going to click on import. If you have this, then this is where it's going to be. I click on import and I go into my download, and I'm going to find the folder that I just downloaded. I don't know what it's called. Oh, just kidding. Let me go back. Before you go to Procreate, there is something you have to do. If you download it to files, downloads. Okay. It's going to download as a zip file, so you have to unzip it before you can do anything else. After you download your stuff, you're going to go to where your files are saved, and you're going to click on where it says Lulu Notebook Cover Template, this right here. It's a zipped folder. You're going to click on it and it's going to unzip it, and here are all of the cover templates for all the different things that you could possibly need. It gives you a book creation guide, kind of giving you guidelines on how to prepare your files and all that fun stuff. And then there is the cover templates, of course. And then this last one is PDF job options. It just kind of gives you some information that you need for Adobe to make PDFs, but we're not using that. So we're just gonna go to cover templates. And as you can see, there is paperback, there is the regular paperback, and there is the coil. So the ones that have a binding on it rather than paperback. So this is the paperback. So that's the one that I use, so that's how I'm going to show you. But when you click on it, you'll see that it says 32 pages, 100 pages, or 200 pages. And I like to make my notebooks, so this one is 200 pages, which is the size. The size of your cover is going to depend on the amount of pages that you have, because the binding will be a different size. So the spine will be a different size. So that kind of makes some decisions for you. So I am going to do 100 for the sake of this thing here. And when you click on 100 pages, you have InDesign, PDF, Photoshop, and PNG. I prefer the PNG. It's my favorite one. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. It is just a PNG. It shows you your trim bleed area, which is kind of where you have to be safe with that. The safety margin means that everything that you print is going to be in that area, but the trim bleed area is not. Then it shows you your total document size, the book trim size, the spine area, things like that, and just basic information. If you want to add a barcode, that's where they would prefer you to put the barcode, that kind of thing. So I'm going to open this in Procreate. Also, I would just like to point out before I get any further, I am not an expert, so I am going based off of my own personal experience. This is what I do. If you do it differently, that's okay, but this is just how I personally do it. So if you're offended by it, please don't be. So with that being said, okay, so as you can see, here is what we're working with. I like to keep this as a bottom layer. It's helpful to know. So this is obviously, this side is the front cover. Oh, let me get a different color so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, this is the front cover, this is the back cover. So you want to design it like this, so that it's one big file like this. I don't want those there, so let me undo that. Okay, so what I do whenever I am designing this, I take whatever color I want to, I'm gonna make it big enough, and you can see that there is the spine is this purple line right here. So I'm going to draw a spine that is separate from this layer, make it black. Oh, oops. Okay, I'm gonna make it black, and then I'm gonna turn off this. So I know that everything I design, it needs to be within these two sides, and it helps me to kind of center what I'm doing. So this is the front, this is the front, and this is the back. That looks bad because of my pen, but we're gonna bear with me here. So say I want it to be this color. I want this to be in the front so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna erase the words front and back just so that they're not there. So let's say I just want to write the word journal. This is a very crude drawing. This is not good. Let me try again. Okay, journal, and say you want to add some fancy designs to it. So I want to add this weird abstract thing to it. I want to do another abstract thing here. I want to draw some hearts. On the back, I'm gonna write Made with Love by Huntermerck. All right, and if you want it to go onto the spine, you obviously just keep drawing here. So that way it'll be like split on the spine. That'll be like on the front cover. So if you want to see what it looks like not being on the front cover, you can always take this, draw a line, do that so you can see what will show up on the front cover. So that way you kind of have an idea of just what the front looks like. I like to do that sometimes. And then, you just keep doing your little doodles, whatever. This is your notebook. The last thing that I do, so say this is the final design, this is what I want to send to press. I'm going to come to my layers. Obviously, I'm going to get rid of that center line, and then I'm going to make sure that I do not have the template turned on. I'm gonna put it on just so I can make sure that everything looks as I want it to. I see the word journal is not quite centered, so if I wanted to fix that, I'll just move it over so that it's centered with this section. It's a good idea to put your template on top of your design outline just so you can make sure that it looks how you want it to and the placement is where you want it to be. A good way to do this is to also lower your opacity so you can kind of see everything where it's at. I think having the template on top just kind of shows you everything a little bit better. And then once you're done, you'll just turn that off and this will be the final file that we're working with. So next, all you're going to do when you save it, I like to export it as a PDF and as the best quality. And then I will save this over to my files. I will start a new folder. So this is going to be called Lulu template, journal video, and save. All right, so I have successfully exported it. So now what we're gonna do is go back to the browser, to the Lulu website, and before we do anything else, we're gonna get our interior pages. If you want to design interior pages, you have to have every single page ready to go in one PDF file. So I would recommend if you're just trying to make like a regular notebook, this is probably the best way to do it, but you can download a bunch of different interior options from their website. So it's super easy to do. So let's see, here is the inside. You'll see there are blank. So if you want to have blank pages, you can choose from 5 different sizes. It comes in 100 pages and 200 pages. And then we have our lined pages. They do have this line on them. I don't know if you can see this right here. Oh, I messed up. Sorry. It does have this line for the margin. So if you don't like that, I would recommend doing your own pages. And then there's the graph pages. And then there is the dotted interior, which is my personal favorite, but I also sell ones with lined pages. There's also planner interior pages. There is daily planners, which I think is cool. And then there is this one. There's a weekly planner page, a monthly interior page. You can download habit trackers and things like that. And then there's the 12-month weekly undated planner. And then with the habit tracker, a monthly planner, different things. It really just depends on what you are looking for in your notebook. So that is what we do. So I'm gonna just download regular notebook interior pages. So I'm gonna click on download.grid pages. Of course, we're gonna download it. We're gonna go back to files, gonna find that section, Lulu pre-formatted pages. I unzip the folder. Here we have one page, kind of just gives you an example of what the page looks like and the size. So that's pretty simple. And then there is this that tells you to ensure that everything is correct, just so that you can build your own design. But we're gonna do 100 pages and I chose the trade size. So I'm gonna open this up and just make sure everything looks how I want it to be. 100 pages is gonna have 200 pages here. So when you're scrolling here, it's going to have 200 because it needs to be able to be printed on front and back. So each page that you make, so say this is, oh, it's only 100, never mind. I'm doing 100 pages. It's gonna be 100. So that means it's gonna be 50, is it 50 pieces of paper? So this is 100 pieces of paper. So it is 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4, 5, like a book would be. So when you're reading a novel, it has page, that was not a good one. It has page 100, page 101. So 100 pages is not 100 pieces of paper. So keep in mind that for a single piece of paper, it is front and back. So you have to do, or for a single piece of paper, it is just one side of the paper. So if you want it to be designed where you have, so if you want it to be like, say it's dots on one side and grid on the other side, you have to do submit one page as dot and the other side has to be submitted as a line page. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So you have 100 pieces of paper. It's 100 pages, but 50 pieces of paper. So this is where we have the file. Just know where it is within your files. So now we're gonna go back to the browser and we're gonna go all the way to the top of this page and click on start your notebook. You're gonna sign in. So I'm gonna sign in really quickly. And this is what it will look like when you start the project. So you're going to choose your product type. When you're making a notebook, the best option is to click on print book. I do not know what any of these other pages look like whenever you are doing this. So you're gonna do that. And then you're going to have the option to publish your book or you're gonna have the option to print your book. I personally am only doing print my book because I'm doing it for my Etsy shop. But if you're planning to sell it through Lulu's bookstore, if you want to sell it on Amazon or any other global distribution service, then you would click on publish your book. But for the sake of this, I don't know anything about publishing your book. I only know about printing your book. So that's what we're doing here. So project title, this is going to be, for me, I'm gonna call this sample notebook. But for like this one, I called it You're So Golden. So then we're gonna click on design your project. And this is where it gets a little little bit tricky, and so this is why I'm kind of being more specific about this video. So you're going to upload your interior page file. So you're going to click on upload your PDF file, and then you're going to find the pages that you just downloaded. You're going to click on Lulu preformatted .grid interior pages. I'm going to click on 100 pages, and I want the size to be trade. So I click on this one, and it uploads the file. It validates your file so that it can kind of decide the size of it and the number of pages you want it to do it by itself. So there's that. Then we're going to scroll down, book specifications, book size and page count. You want to make sure that it says US trade, and then you're going to scroll down. You're going to click on black and white standard or black and white premium, but if you're doing color and you're only doing lines and dots, I would recommend black and white standard. Black and white premium is better for photos, but standard is better for just like lines and words. Next, you're going to choose your paper type. If you are making a notebook, I would not recommend coated white at all. That's not good. Coated means that it is shiny like a magazine or something. Coated is going to be like a magazine or something like that. It's going to be more difficult to write on. The uncoated paper is what you want. The color of the paper is up to you. My personal preference is white, but you don't have to have white. And so next you're going to pick the binding for your book. Based on the cover that you just made, you're going to pick either coil bound or paper bound. I'm clicking paperback, and I personally prefer matte over glossy, but you can choose glossy if you want. So I'm going to select matte. After that, it gives you the option to upload your cover. So you're going to click on upload, and you're going to go to where you saved it. I don't know where I saved it. Called a journal video, I think. Journal video. Okay. And then I'm going to click on the cover that I just uploaded. It was successful because I made this straight from the template. That is why the size is perfect, because I didn't have to resize anything. There are options to use their quick cover, but I don't like the quick cover. And there's also this where there is a Canva option. I don't know anything about how to do this, but if you want to get on and play with that, please by all means do it. I just have never done it before, so I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to mess up. Then it shows you a preview of what your book will look like. So you can come all the way here. This side is the back cover, and then you have your front cover. This is what it will look like. If you were to design individual pages, then this is where you would look to make sure that they're in the right order. For this, because it's just notebook, it's the same thing over and over again, but this is where you can have a good option, and you can turn off all of these things so you can get a better feel for it if you want to, but having these on is helpful just to know how it will print. So let me just review book. Okay, we're going to confirm the specifications and the files. It's taking longer than expected. Okay, I'm going to stop recording it for now since it says it's taking longer than expected, but I will record my screen and come back to everything once it lets me add it to my cart so I can show you the next steps. Okay, so it's not gonna let me add it right now, but I decided that you know how to add something to your cart, so I just wanted to talk to you about pricing and how I determine my pricing. I usually do 5 to 10 at a time because the whole point in using this website is that I can buy it in a smaller quantity. So, I mean, obviously, like if I wanted a bigger quantity, I could, but I am choosing the smaller quantity. So it makes the total price after shipping is gonna be about $35. So because of that, I personally do my price divisions, like figure out how much it costs per unit based on what it's gonna be after shipping and handling and tax. So let me just pull up a calculator really quickly. So let's see, it's gonna be $35.09, and I'm buying 5 of them. That makes them about $7 a piece, like right at $7 a piece. So $7 each, and then I do free shipping, and it costs about $5 to ship a single one on my Etsy shop. So that makes the overall cost so far 7 plus 5 is about $12 per notebook, and that's how much you are paying to get it to the customer. I personally, like I said, choose free shipping, so I make my notebooks $20 because then I am getting a total of, hold on, 12, 20, about $8 profit per notebook, but that also counts into things like Etsy fees that they have, fees for using their shipping service, fees for anything that you can possibly imagine because Etsy has a transaction fee and also a listing fee, and I also have my shipping supplies that cost money. So overall, I'm probably making about $5 per notebook, which seems kind of crazy considering you're paying like $15 for it, but you can also list them less or you don't have to do free shipping, but that's how I do it, just to give you guys an idea of what my pricing looks like and why it looks the way that it does so that I can put that money back into buying more products. Yeah, that was a lot of information, so I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful, and if you were starting an Etsy shop or any other kind of shop where you are planning to sell notebooks, I hope that you guys have great success, and I hope that the notebooks that you buy turn out really good. Also, I have a few disclaimers to give you before I actually completely finish the video. One, the pricing on these notebooks can fluctuate based on demand. The amount of time that it takes to get to you depends on what's happening in the world. So the pricing that I showed you in this video is not guaranteed. It can change at any time. So please don't come for me if the price changes. Also, keep in mind that the price per notebook could be a little bit more if you buy less notebooks. So if you buy one notebook, it's probably going to be closer to $10 per notebook because you have to pay shipping for the notebook and also the individual notebook. So just keep that in mind also. And then lastly, this company that I purchase my notebooks from, sometimes I do not get good products from them. I have to contact customer service for them to send me a replacement. I've had to do it like 3 times. And so just keep that in mind that this company, it's not really great. It's not super great when it comes to quality control. I would not recommend drop shipping from them. Make sure that they're coming to you first and then going to your customer, because you want to make sure that you have quality control, because it's really frustrating when you send a product directly to your customer and it's messed up. So just keep that in mind, and that I'm not responsible for anything this company does. Just it's not my fault, okay? Nothing is my fault. I'm just showing you how I make my notebooks, and that's it. I'm just trying to be helpful. So anyway, that's all I have for today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.